Do you ever stumble across a movie so bad you just can't look away? Well, that's Deathstalker, the 1983 sword-and-sorcery film that proves sometimes the worst movies are also the most entertaining. This one comes hot on the heels of Conan the Barbarian, and you could tell everyone in Hollywood suddenly wanted their own muscle-bound hero swinging swords and saving half-naked women. Only here, our hero isn't exactly heroic. Rick Hill plays Deathstalker, a blonde loincloth-wearing, not-so-charming adventurer who basically fights monsters, beds women, and kills anything that moves. Rick himself was a former gridiron player. And the story? Well, calling it a story might be generous. There's a magic sword, an evil sorcerer named Munkar, a gladiator tournament, and a witch or two for good measure. It's chaotic, nonsensical, and yet kind of mesmerizing, as it's so bad. Now let's talk about the style. The film is a peak 80s cheese, wild music, cheap rubber, monsters, practical effects that look like they were made in someone's garage. But that's part of its charm. There's a rough, handmade quality that modern CGI just can't replicate. Of course, the film hasn't aged well. It's wildly misogynistic. Women exist mostly to be rescued or underdressed, sometimes both in the same scene. And poor Lana Clarkson, who plays Kyra, spends most of the film in what can only be described as fantasy lingerie. It's exploitative, but it's also a strange time capsule of what passed for adventure cinema in the 1980s. Unfortunately, Lana Clarkson would be killed by her boyfriend Phil Spector, the famed music producer, when he shot her to death in 2003. He later would be convicted on second-degree murder in 2009. Behind the scenes, the film was filmed in Argentina on a shoestring budget, directed by James Sabatelletti, though he used his fake name John Watson, which should tell you something. The movie somehow made a profit and even spawned 3 sequels. That's how strong its cult following became. The film also stars Barbie Benton in what would be her last role. She, of course, was a famed Playboy playmate. And now in 2025, Deathstalker is back. The new reboot is produced by none other than Slash from Guns N' Roses and stars Daniel Bernhardt as Deathstalker. So yeah, is Deathstalker bad? The acting is wooden, the plot's nonsense, and the effects are laughable, but it's also kind of weirdly fun. A throwback to a time when fantasy movies were wild, messy, and gloriously unpolished. For nostalgia alone, I give Deathstalker a 3 out of 10. If you love bad movies, go and find it, pour yourself a drink, and enjoy the chaos, but be warned, it's not for everyone. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment. Have you seen Deathstalker, and what did you think? And we'll see you in the next one.